really thankful that all of you came out. Thank you so much for being here super quickly, because we have an amazing, vast lineup of hilarious comedians coming up here. We are very much a makeshift comedy club here, as you who are standing can see. We'd absolutely love to buy some more chairs. We are a nonprofit here at Patina Arts, and would love to raise a tiny bit of money in order to do that. If anyone is so inclined to help out with that at any point, I'll say this like one more time tonight. But we have a jar at the little table in the back if anybody wants to put a couple bucks in it. Or you can Cash App Lydia Carmany, LYDIACARMANY. And just put comedy in the line, and I promise it'll get to the right place. We're gonna get started. I'm really thrilled to introduce our first comedian of the night. This guy's been in the business a while, and also been out of the business a while since. And we're really lucky to have him back. Please welcome to the stage Ryan Rogers.
Give yourselves a big round of applause. This is awesome. So from Madison, Ohio, TIG, ERS, absolutely. Fuck Maslin. I mean, Maslin, Ohio, and Canton, it's one of the few places in America where you can talk about Pizzagate and they think it's a football program. Ironically, it's still about force-feeding sausage to an underage person. Hey folks, we're good to go tonight. There are a bunch of sick fucks up here. Yeah, so I have a girl, she likes to read those magazines, the self-help magazines. She's reading an article about women's underwear. And basically it says there are two kinds of underwear. There are girls that wear thong underwear. It says that these are the girls that like to go out and party. There are women that wear granny panties. These are the women that like to stay home, cook, clean. The article basically says that if you can find a woman who wears both kinds of underwear, you have found the perfect housewife. Oh, I'm the perfect housewife. Honey, what's it mean when you wear granny panties and it looks like thong underwear? Yeah, it's kind of why she was one of my last girls. All right. Did you know bald men don't go down on women? Would you like to bet? I'll meet you after the show. No, ladies, you don't always shave your legs. That shit's like Velcro. Let me go! No, but being bald, you know, ever since I started shaving my head, I feel like I've become the #1 suspect. All right, let me rephrase that. Brothers, sorry, you're still going to be the #1 suspect. I'm the second suspect. White privilege, yes, it exists. But really, if you heard a detective calling for a police lineup, you would think that he's calling for a cheap cigar. Yeah, give me a black and bald. But really, I mean, when you're bald, you kind of look like everybody. I mean, Uncle Fester. Tully Savalas. For you younger generation, if you don't know who that is, go home, talk to your grandmother. Just don't be surprised if she pulls her socks down and starts tweaking her nipples a little bit. And personally, my favorite. What are you talking about? want me to tell you a bedtime story? The one with the 3 little kitties? Oh, this story is awful. Now let's talk about the 3 little kitties with the big boobs. Now even that's a happy ending that Deshaun Watson can get behind. All right, everybody, that's my time tonight. Thank you very much.
Let's get off for Brian Rogers one more time. Next dude is a pub trivia aficionado and probably a really good comedian as well. No, he's gonna do great. Please get off for Chris Cutter.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me all right? Yeah. How's everybody doing? That is so much better than me. I am a nervous wreck. I was like, I've never done this before, so you can choose to be gentle or heckle or whatever. Anyway, I was thinking how to even start a stand-up show. And I'm a smart guy, but first I had to get past the nerves. So I spent most of the time, instead of practicing the bit, practicing the drug cocktail I would need to feel completely relaxed. So if anybody needs the recipe for that, you can get me after the show. Anyway, so I was like trying to figure it out, right? I was like, what do I do? And I'm a smart guy, I tend to know all things, so I Googled it. And what do you type in? I typed in, how do you start a comedy show? A lot of the answers were trash. One of them was like, find something you love. Ask a question about it. Be funny. So I have a question for you. Does anybody in here eat ass? Yeah. I feel like that guy gets it. I feel like eating ass got a new publicist. Like, it used to be really taboo. We only talked about it in the annals of dark hallways.
Dark hallways.
But now it's like society's really starting to open up its eye to it. I feel like that's great. That publicist though, it's fantastic. Like, it saw the sit on my face movement and was like, we're so close. we can have our time. And now there's like a whole season dedicated to it. And there's a whole lot of other new seasons for the older people in here that do not know what I'm talking about. There's ass eating season, there's spooky season, and then there's the one we all dive into faster than the pumpkin spice latte in autumn, cuffing season. If you guys don't know what cuffing season is, that's where your unstable relatives trap a spouse or significant other leading up to the holidays, just so that they can maybe take them to a pumpkin patch, avoid judgment from family, and be less depressed. I don't know what it is, but white women love that shit. They're like, I think engagement rings grow inside pumpkins, or something to that effect. I guess that's my PSA for you, is like, if you're going to avoid anything, it's cuffing season. Because one time you're riding high on the end of summer, and the next you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and you're dodging questions like, when are you getting married? And, I don't know, are you going to try and stuff my daughter's turkey? I love Thanksgiving, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's the food, it's the family. But for me, my favorite part is watching football on a recliner. It's just something about it. And you might think, what about the games? Well, let me tell you this. I recently went to a Browns game, and that should be the end of the joke. But it's not. I was there, and it was me and my girlfriend, and there was this giant plague of giant mosquito-like insects off the lake called midges. And they would swarm, and they landed on you 30 at a time, and they'd smash into your clothes. And it was some uncomfortable, biblical level shit. I've always heard as a Browns fan that it would take an act of God to get us a Super Bowl. I just didn't expect the plagues before. So, it's like, by my count, I think we have, we've already sacrificed Baker Mayfield. We had a fire that caught fire. We've had our insects, our pestilence. I think all we need to do now is eat ass in the dark for 3 days, and we're going to get ourselves a student. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go get a head start. Thank you once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Chris Ryder. And I want to welcome somebody to the stage who said he wanted to perform tonight, and I told him to text me, and he just sent me a selfie and said, if you're wondering who I am, I'm the handsome one. And I was like, cool, didn't mean to. But he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Matthews of Fresno?
Yeah, Fresno.
Yeah!
Thanks, I am the handsome one. So I had my annual sexual harassment training at work this week. And I gotta say, getting pretty good at it. Did y'all watch that new Jeffrey Dahmer series on the Netflixes? Yeah. Oh yeah. It was good stuff, right? Is it me, or did the gays just seem to have more fun in the 80s? There's just this right amount of oppression to like really just live life, you know? It's like, it's a little scary, but we're having a good time. I might get eaten tonight, who knows? Netflix kind of got in trouble a little bit because they had the LGBTQI plus tag on the show. They had to remove it. And that doesn't really make any sense to me. Because as a homosexual cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer is the glass ceiling. Like, no one cares about the straight guy that ate people. All they know is Jeffrey Dahmer. He is the glass ceiling. And glass ceilings used to be only for women. You know, we had the first woman CEO, we had this first woman vice president. And now, we have all these subgenres of humans to where they are breaking something. So I was curious, when are we going to see the first transgender school shooter? Turns out we already had that. 2019, Colorado. A transgendered boy did a bunch of cocaine, stole some guns, marched into a school, and as they were about to fire the gun, were stopped by a hero student. The reason you hear about this is because there's one fatality. One fucking fatality. You're going to break a glass ceiling when Nick Cruz is down in Parkland killing 17? Get the fuck out of here. Good. Perfect response that I want. But no, the school system's fucked up, you know? You got all these kids now, every time I turn around, it's teachers banging a student. And it made me wonder, like, are pedophiles just naturally attracted to becoming teachers? They're like, you know what? 4 years undergrad, 2 years master's degree. I'm going to work for 2 or 3 years, making $35 grand a year, and then I get to fuck a kid. Great, I love it. I don't think that's true. I think there's a different response. I think kids are just so sexy that they turn normal people like you and me into pedophiles. What else? So obviously I don't have children. And I'm not married, and I live alone. But I do have a cat.
Same!
And sometimes I get sad because my cat won't cuddle with me. So lately I've been letting him lick ecstasy off my fingers. And he just turns into a real, like, purr monster, you know what I mean? Just, what's going on? No, I'm kidding. I can't afford my own Molly habit, let alone a 10-pound cat's. Well, obviously I'm alone. And I'm one of those people that I only see my family on holidays, right? Thanksgiving was last week. Saw my sister. She's starting to get real fat. And I don't even know if I want to fuck her anymore. You know what I mean, calm down. Like, I only want to fuck her because she looks like me. But whatever. Anyway, that's my time. Y'all have a good night.
That is his time. Shake the hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome somebody to the stage who I should have known for very many years and just got the chance to meet. She's incredible. Please welcome Gabrielle Fashbaugh. Hey, how's it going? I like to call this fur coat my horror coat because it reminds me of what prostitutes would wear in the 70s. And I'm no prostitute, but if I were, I keep it professional. No cuddles, no kissing, no talking, just sex, and I'm out. And I'm like, God, this sounds like my dating life. Just a natural prostitute. Well, there was this one time I was a prostitute for 20 minutes of my life. I guess we could just call it a quick business transaction. I let this dude finger me for $300. Yeah, $300. Definitely scammed. I'd say it was me struggling to get by, but I still live with my parents. It was for weed, and it was for this horror coat. Moving on from my mistakes, and let's move on to my doctor's mistakes. I was born with a very rare physical disability called Erb's palsy. It's a birth injury that made my left arm partially paralyzed. And blah, 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 blah. Let's get to the real disability here. I suffer from uneven titties. It's very serious, guys. Come on. Did you know you can die from uneven titties? I bet you didn't know. And I didn't either until I looked on the internet. And I believe everything on the internet. It's definitely true. They did say something on the internet where I was pretty shocked. They said, you won't die if you get a boob job. So it looks like I have to get a boob job for survival purposes. You know what's been heavy on my mind lately? I've been single for 27 years of my life. And I'm thinking, dude referring to God, why? I have so much to offer. I have a personality disorder, so you'll always be entertained by me. I'm also suicidal before my period starts. So every month, I'm fighting death. And I'd say that makes me one badass motherfucker. Yeah, it does. I do have commitment issues, but only with men who have small penises.
to end it with a small penis. And it went something like this. Hey, little guy. How's it going? It's not him. And it's definitely not me. It's you, little dude. You're just way too small for me. And, you can stop crying now. You're making me feel bad when it's my vagina's fault. It's like, I know what you're thinking out there. You're like, this bitch is shallow. And I am. But my cervix isn't.
One more time for Gabrielle. Next, I'd like to bring to the stage a seasoned local comic. You know him. You probably love him. Please welcome Patrick Madison.
That's not pointing. That's definitely not pointing at me. Can't miss a moment. How are you guys? That's exciting. Thank you, sir. Is that pointing it? Thank you. All right, thank you, buddy. I don't want to miss this. You guys are a fucking awesome crowd. I just asked you how you're doing. I'm getting a little nervous. All right. Man, I'm excited to be here, dude. I've been trying to get out of the house. My girlfriend sends me to the grocery store. I don't know if you guys are the ones in your family who do the grocery shopping, but the prices of food are really out of hand. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, dude. Like, if I'm being honest, when I go to Giant Eagle, I feel compelled to steal. Like, the whole thing is just like a challenge to see if I can make it through the store without walking away with, I'm trying to eat healthy, bro. She's sending me for ingredients for salads, man, and I'm gonna tell you this. They would not charge that much money for an avocado, right? If they didn't expect I'd walk off with one once in a while. I don't, though. I do not steal from the grocery store, and I know it's not because I'm worried about the Walmart shareholders or anything noble like that. I am super terrified to get caught shoplifting and then go to the county jail for the third time. That's too many times. That is too many times because that's too much to pay for an avocado. All right, that is not worth it, despite what you may have heard. And despite its reputation, the county jail is so fucking boring. Oh my gosh, it's so boring. Dude, when you're in there, all there is to do is trade stories. You gotta trade stories, you gotta say what you were doing when you got arrested, and it's never something cool for me. It's never been like, oh, I was out robbing, I was raping my way through Maslin. That's cool in jail, alright? I don't make the rules, goddammit. I was selling crack in a playground, I was lifting lettuce, man. That's right. I got picked up for pocketing some peppers at the Whole Foods, which sounds like a nursery rhyme, so I'll let you know where I'm at. Man, dude. I don't know. I moved from Canal Fulton, which is nearby, kind of, to Maslin, Canton. I live in Akron, and when I first moved to Akron, I would feign to be naive so that it was easier for me to partake in the local crimes. There was this dude who used to drive around my neighborhood selling steak. And if you live around here, you're like, oh, I know that guy, the Schwann's man, right? Like the Schwann's man? No, just like fucking Dave in an F-150. Just some fucking maniac in his dreams of just driving through the neighborhood. He calls for me. He's like, yo, bro, yo, my man. I'm like, oh, well, this guy's trying to sell me drugs. So I go and see what he has. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's up? Just a stranger screaming at me off the side of the street. I'm like, okay. And he's like, hey, man, what about some steaks? I'm like, holy shit. I super did want to buy those steaks. I was broke. I was so broke at the time, and he was selling porterhouses for $3. Yes. I have a friend, though, who worked at the grocery store, and a couple days later, him and another guy were fussing about the people who come in there shoplifting, and then they were getting really mad about the guy who steals all the fucking steak. That is a quote. I was like, somebody is stealing the steak? How could this be? Oh, he was like, oh, it's super easy, dude. He just comes in a big oversized coat. I'm like, okay. And then he just grabs a handful, shoves it down the front of his pants. Oh, God. This motherfucker was out here peddling penis steak. Unfucking real, dude. That is so gross. My girlfriend had such a positive attitude all the time, though. She goes to me, this came up the other day, and she was like, oh, well, Patrick, thankfully, COVID wasn't a problem yet. And I was like, well, goddamn. I have herpes. But thankfully, I don't have to cough to go with it. So, whatever. Dodged the bullet with that one. 5 minutes of time and my mouth gets dry. I double dosed my Lexapro to make sure I was in a good mood when oh my God. This is a pivot. I only have 5 minutes. I was going down on my girlfriend the other day. I was downtown, as the kids call it. You know what I mean? So I was having a pretty good time. For the old people in the back, I was licking her vagina. She's like, ooh, I like it when you kiss me there. And I'm like, where specifically? My neck was killing me. I'll never walk straight again. Like, you need to draw me a map, lady. She got kind of mad. She replied back. She's like, on my labia minora. But I'm dumb as fuck. And I'm like, your little menorah, it's not Hanukkah. That's the whole joke. That's the whole joke. Just like my oral sex, unfinished. Some would even say anticlimactic. I hope you're satisfied. She sure as fuck was not. Oh my gosh. Alright, I gotta wrap it up here. I'll do one more for you guys. This is a quick one. What does an AR-15 and a note from your doctor have in common? What? They will both get you out of gym class. Alright. Alright. That's my time. Thank you guys so much.
One more round of applause for Patrick Madison. I'm really excited to introduce this next comic. I'm just really excited. I'm not going to give her too much ado, but I know you guys are going to love her as much as I do. Please welcome Kristin Curry.
You made it?
Yeah.
I want to thank Lydia. I want to thank Patina Arts. I want to thank the Females of Comedy. All right. FOC. Fuck. I want to be a fucker. I have kids. I can be a motherfucker.
Yeah!
That's right. Okay, so a little bit about me. I am the only child of not one, but two hairdressers. I was the only 5-year-old with a perm. My parents hated me. Right after I was born, my dad got a vasectomy. The very next week, he got another one, just to be sure. Right after that, my mom got a hysterectomy just to seal the deal. Literally. So my parents, they always called me Casey. That was like one name, like Cher. Turns out, those were my initials. Yeah. First day of kindergarten, that would have been useful information. By the way, everyone is sitting here when they hear their name called. No one called my name because I didn't know it. I'm sure they called it. I didn't know it. And you know, there's a reason. Because my parents couldn't take the time to name their only child. No. Bunny named me. Bunny, the shampoo girl. Beauty shop named me. Thank you, Bunny. Thanks for caring. It's a beautiful day. Kristin Curry. See, Casey? Get it now, right? Yeah, it took a minute. So, it took a minute for me. In fact, 16 years later, I'm getting my driver's license. You have to take your birth certificate with you. Who ever reads their birth certificate? Okay, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God. I have been misspelling my name for 16 years. It is Kristin with 2 eyes, Michelle with 1 L, Curry with a Y. I'm like, why? Why? Why would you keep this information from me? I don't know. But I have bigger problems now. I'm menopausal. I got hair loss, I got weight gain, and now I have a goatee. You know, and you guys always, we have to shave every day. And I mean, you get to shave in the mirror with a razor in good lighting, okay? And there I am just plucking. Plucking away. And it's not till I'm driving in the car and the light comes shining in, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I missed a couple. And then you people, you call yourselves my friends? You don't tell me that. You're like, hi, Kristin, how are you? I'm like, good, how are you? You're like, do you want to get a drink? I'm like, sure. Okay, so I have also, besides a goatee, I have terrible taste in men. For 13 years, I dated nothing but guitar players named Dave. Now, there were 3 different Daves, and they were all in a row.
Very different.
These are the Daves of our lives. So, I'm gonna tell you, when I married Dave, number 2, the one in the middle, married him, only after 9 months of dating, all of my friends in town lost $20 because I wasn't knocked up. That's right. So, I have always had what I like to call a 3-man plan. You have one with the money. You have one you want to talk to. And you have one you want to screw. Now, I don't want to screw the one I'm talking to, and I never want to talk to the one I'm screwing. And usually both of those guys are broke. So I say, marry the one with the money. Because you're going to need those other 2 guys. Eventually, you are never going to want to talk to or screw your husband again. Unless it's in divorce court. And then I'm like, yeah, let's talk about who's getting screwed. All right, well, I just want you to know that my name is Kristin Curry. Please remember that. My parents will not. And I thank you very much for being here.
Kristin Curry, everybody. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our next comic, She walked in here tonight after I had talked to her one time on Instagram, and she went to sign up for a spot on the sheet, and I went, no, not an open mic, no. And she was like, no, you know me. Please welcome the wonderful Jacqui Gray.
Hello, I'm Jacqui Gray. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
I sound louder in my head than I actually sound out loud, so I just want to double check for y'all. This is a really sick venue. I don't get out that much. I definitely thought that was like a detective mirror back there, so I've been creeping on everyone. I didn't know you guys could see me. But I've been staring at people like psycho. Jesus. Alright, I had court today. Anyone want to take a gander at what I did?
Jaywalk.
Okay.
Stop it. Stole it out, got it.
Okay. It was none of those. Is somebody timing me because I have no sense of time? Thank you. It was actually because my dad didn't put license plates on this trailer that I had to drive. And I was like, this isn't even mine. And they thought I stole it. It didn't help that my mom looked like the dude from Home Alone. She was like wearing a beanie and shit. And I was detained with my mother. And I was taking selfies because I was like, when is this ever going to happen again? And she's like, is this the first time this has ever happened? I was like, no. And she's like, you need to get your life together. And I was like, who's in the back seat with me right now? My mom. And I was like, happy Thanksgiving. I turn 28 soon in like 6 days, so that's weird. Thank you. I am old enough to be in here. I don't know if like half of you can tell that. I only say that because the other day I was walking in Dollar General, and this guy was like, shouldn't you be in school? And I was like, are you gonna kidnap me? Or like, if not, I have to go to this fucking meeting, so you need to hurry up. Like, he didn't even have candy. But, yeah, back to having court today. I heard the words dollop of vodka in the courtroom, and she looked like a very nice lady. And I was like, she should not go to jail for a dollop of vodka. And the judge looked like Santa, so it made it that much worse. And I'm actually from a really small town. I don't know if you can tell. Why'd you laugh so hard at that? But I'm from a town where there's Amish, a lot of Amish. I'm like 40 minutes from here. And I actually knew some of the defendants in there. And I was like, hey, Mr. Hirschberger, how's it going? And he's like, oh my God. He's like, you're Gray's daughter. And I was like, don't tell him. But he knows. This is his fault, sir. I was like, I'm a good kid, I promise. We do auctions. I'm an auction manager, so that's really random, right? Yeah. Have you guys heard of Kristin?
Yes.
Who said yes? Oh my God, hello.
Been there.
You've been there. How was it?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Did you know that's right next to Doylestown? Where Jeff Dahmer's from? I'm convinced that small towns make serial killers. Like, yeah.
Sorry.
He's from a small town.
Me too. I think I'm one bad breakup away from being a serial killer. This guy I was with for 10 years actually turned out to have a double life. That was cool to find out. Had an entirely different Instagram that he blocked me on. So I was just like, oh, that's weird to find out from other people. And had a girlfriend that was the Aldi's brand version of me. Not my words. Not my words. I'm repeating this from other friends. I didn't want to know who it was. And but she,
Period.
Yes. Thank you. My sister's like, she's cute, but she looks like she was born in an ashtray. And I'm like, oh, she's pregnant. Cut her some slack. Like, my sister's ruthless. And does that mean there's 1 minute, or is that it? I can't tell. I think that's it. Anyways, he gave me a Dear John letter apologizing, and then I was like, oh, that's cool, thank you, for the 10 years of that. And then I found out later he was also arrested, and he's probably going to go to jail, and I was just like, oh, shit. Who's going to be writing the John Deere, Jesus. Dear John letters now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacqui Gray. I'm going to bring up our next comic. And then we're going to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Adam Bartolomucci.
Howdy, howdy. How are you guys? Alright, let's have some fun. So I grew up with the internet. Things were different when I was growing up. You know, we all shared the same box. You know, I shared it with my brothers and my sisters. So I only got a half an hour at a time. Kids today, they'll never know that struggle, you know. They're always connected. They have their own personalized box in their pocket at all times. You know, it's a good thing in some aspects, but to be honest, I'm afraid it's giving them autism. You know, I grew up with the Time Warner. Now they're all on the spectrum. I can relate. I've been told I'm pretty low energy. It's fair enough, you know. But I like to say low energy but high functioning. I like following strippers online. I also like to follow them home. It's kind of a win-win. They like the exposure. I like the exposure. You know, but one thing I learned from strippers online is that they all work as cosmetologists during the day. You know, we all need a side hustle. They're people too, you know. I just wish it created some separation between their careers, though. You know, you misunderstand one post about a facial appointment, now you're the asshole. I don't quite get it. Speaking of sex work, you know about this guy, Mike Gitkiss? He's a congressional candidate in New York City. He's running on a sex-positive platform, so he released a video of himself with an escort. Talk about a man who not only talks the talk, he walks the night walkers home. You know, that's got to be a self-funded venture. Prostitutes, an issue I get behind. It's a tough sell to the lobbyist when you mean it literally. You know, dude could have used some funding too. The girl, she was looking kind of rough. You know, if you had some funding, you could have got someone a little classier, then sex would still be the only thing he was positive for. I think we should make all politicians do that, though. You know, you want to legalize something? Show us. You want to legalize weed? Let's see you rip that bong. You want to go to war? Let's see you bomb some innocent kids, Call of Duty style. You want to lower the age of consent? Go ahead, release the video. We know you already got him. This guy gets it. I'm kind of a narcissist, but I also have low self-esteem. It's a weird little conundrum. You know, I don't really think I'm all that cool. I just think you guys all really suck. It's not me, it's them. Textbook narcissism. So, dating's weird. Anyone ever done any long distance dating? Yeah? How'd that go? I just think long distance dating's like she goes to another school for adults. What about online? Anyone ever date online? I swear every girl on there is the same. She thinks she's a witch because she likes astrology, crystals, magic rocks, am I right? You know, to top it all off, they're picky, they want a tall guy. It's like, we get it, ladies, you're looking for your daddy long legs. The spooky. We're still working on this, no problem. Yeah, dating's weird. I'm kind of in a non-traditional relationship myself. I like to turn things around on her. You know, I steal her clothes. I'm always wearing her hoodies, her t-shirts, her underwear. She's got a bush, and she's bisexual. Doesn't that just make me her beard? You know, we recently bought a minivan. It's been going well for me. I've been calling it my pussy wagon. Because my stepson's always crying in the back seat. Kidding, people, I'm kidding. I'm at an open mic comedy show. We all know I'm too broke to buy a new car. You know, I'm so broke, I'm beginning to think my bank is transphobic. Every time I swipe my card, they tell me trans denied. Thanks, guys. That's one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elam, Bartolomucci. We're gonna take a quick 10. If you need to wait for a while in line for the one restroom, or re-up a drink real quick somewhere else, we're gonna get back here in 10 minutes. Chill. The most Italian person that I've talked to in the last 3 minutes. Please welcome to the stage, Marinaccio.
Hi. I would like to tell you all about the first time I had anal sex. And this isn't going where you think it is. Which is also what I said to my girlfriend. We had been drinking that evening together, and quite profusely, and things kind of started getting a little hot and heavy, so we migrated to the bedroom as one does, and then things were moving into formation, maneuvering, getting the logistics all right and ready to go. And like I said, we've been drinking quite a bit that evening, and she gets this look on her face. She's like, I think I'm going to throw up. I was like, oh, okay, like I'm not knowing. And then she was like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. And like I said, we'd been drinking a lot that evening, so in my drunken haze of chivalry, I was like, I know, I'll pick you up and I'll carry you to the bathroom. We were in her bed, and so I go to pick her up, and that first step off the bed was more than I thought it was going to be. So we went crashing down, and I broke her fall, but you know, her head was right here, and mine, as it normally is right here. So as we hit the ground, she started to evacuate her party gullet. And since my face was right there, it was, you know, if you told me earlier that evening that someone was going to have a surprise and something end up in one of their orifices, it wasn't what I thought it was. And that's probably one of the biggest gaps between what I thought was going to happen and what did happen in my whole life. Second only maybe to, it was a couple years ago, the day before my birthday, and my dad had texted me, hey, what would you like me to make for your birthday dinner? I was like, oh, that's really nice. I still have that text on my phone from him. Okay. Something easy, like mac and cheese or something. My dad was not a great cook. So I'll get some mac and cheese. And I showed up to his house, and he hadn't made anything because he was dead on the floor. That was probably a bigger gap between what I thought was going to happen and what did happen. That's the reaction I wanted. So both of my parents are actually deceased. They both died in 2020, but not from COVID. They always did march to the beat of their own drum. You know, they say, if everyone else had jumped off a bridge, would you have jumped up? Well, in that case, they probably would have died of COVID just to prove them wrong. So like I said, they both passed, and I remember standing there, flashback forward to my dad, and I'm standing in the living room. There's me there, and a couple emergency responders, police officer, and it's quiet. And one of the emergency responders said, oh, I recognize this house. I was just here a few months ago to get your mom. And I don't know how he thought that sounded in his head before he said it, but I was like, I don't know what to say after that. So I was just like, I gotta stop meeting this way. So, both parents deceased, and as any newly orphaned 30-something-year-old will tell you, the move is to relocate to Ohio. So I moved out to Ohio, and you move to a new state, you're going to make new friends, you're going to meet new coworkers, there's going to be new small talk and questions. And when people would find out that I moved here from out of state, one of the questions I would get were like, oh, do your parents live out here? Well, live is such a strong word. They're out here in an urn on my mantle. Or I had moved out here right before Mother's Day, and a really well-meaning coworker of mine, she had asked, oh, are you going to see your mom for Mother's Day? It's like, well, I hope not, otherwise those ghost hunters I hired owe me a refund. So my friend will ask, Aaron, has this caused you to ask yourself the big questions? So I think to myself, have I been more introspective lately? Like, is there life after death? Am I living my life to the fullest? Why didn't my dad buy a better life insurance policy? Or they'll ask, has this whole thing brought you closer to your own son? I have a 9-year-old son, and it makes me think back a couple weeks ago, he was sitting in his room playing with this new toy, and I noticed, and I asked him, oh, are you playing with a new toy? And he said, yeah, Grandpa got it for me. Well, not Grandpa Marinaccio, my other grandpa, obviously. And I was like, yeah, I figured. And he laughed too, and neither of us suppressed any sad emotions or anything like that. It was great. Or I had a friend trying to give me advice a few weeks ago. Well, have you gone through all the stages of grief with your parents yet? Well, I don't know. What stage is it when you get up in front of a bunch of strangers and talk about the first time you had anal sex, or it ends up with someone else throwing a pin in your face? Because I think that's stage 3. I think that's stage 3, and if it is, then that's what stage 3. That's my time. Thanks, everybody.
You guys, Aaron Marinaccio. Next, I want to welcome up the most wonderful Amy Wyler in the entire world.
I'll move this out of the way so you can see me better. Gotta need that cord though. There you go. So I spent 11 years of my life working night shift at a Walmart. That's not the joke. You guys are dicks, but I'll take the laugh. And I got really upset at work one night when I overheard this older couple arguing in the cereal aisle. And the wife said, "We don't need no fancy Pop-Tarts." That's when I decided to quit. Now, a few of you are looking at me like, what's so wrong with that sentence? Wasn't you. If you're the guy I saw that night, I'm so sorry that your wife has terrible grammar and Pop-Tart blocked you. Because this is America, and you have the right to pursue the fanciest Pop-Tart your heart desires. So I quit my night job at Walmart and started a new night job at a 2-star hotel. Now, I'm not bragging, but we got that 2nd star after I started working there. And even though I'm kind of a lady of the night, I didn't get us that 2nd star for doing sexual favors, so how's that for building morale? I started this new job with so much hope, thinking certainly the clientele here will be classier than my Walmart customers were. Anything is classier than Walmart. But something I didn't process at the time was that even some of these Walmart customers need somewhere to go when they're done shopping. And hotels stay open 24 hours, all year round, for all holidays. Even Walmart closes at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve and doesn't open again until the morning after Christmas. But my first week at the hotel, I had to work Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. And it was surprisingly busy. And let me just point out that if you're staying at a 2-star hotel on Christmas Eve, it's either because you can't stand your family or they can't stand you. So it was a very busy, crazy night at work. But about halfway through my shift, things finally got quiet. Quiet enough for me to take a little break. So I made myself a hot chocolate and I sat down by the fireplace to finally have a precious Christmas moment. But just like in the night before Christmas, I heard a thud. And my inner child got really excited. But instead of Santa's sleigh outside, it was some pickup truck of an Uber. And instead of leaving a gift, they dropped off a 20-something-year-old crackhead. So this guy stumbles in. It's about 5 a.m. Christmas morning. He's completely intoxicated. And I went to go mop up the snow and ice that he dragged in from the snowstorm, only to find that he had also dropped a phone charging cord and a tiny little baggie of a very different kind of white powder. Now, I'm a good girl, so I stood there stunned because I've never seen real cocaine before in my life. But because I wasn't sure, I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt. It was Christmas Eve, Christmas morning. Maybe he'd just come from an all-night bake-a-thon, and that was just a tiny leftover baggie of powdered sugar from Christmas cookies. My jaw was still on the floor, but before I could do anything, he rounded the corner to come back to get what he dropped. And I panicked and threw it down, and I was like, "Oh, you dropped your phone cord," completely deflecting the alleged street drugs. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks." And he sloppily but nervously scooped it up. And then he was like, "I can't get my room key to work." There's an arrow on the key. It's pretty self-explanatory. I still had to help him out. Then I was nervous he would try to murder me in the elevator on the way upstairs. But I realized that if he wasn't successful in using his room key, he probably wouldn't be successful in murdering me.
But when we got upstairs and I'd opened his door for him, he was bold enough to invite me in. Now on the inside, I was like, I'm 300 pounds and growing a beard. I haven't had sex, like, with another person in, like, 5 years. Boy, you cannot handle this level of pent-up weird. You best call an ambulance now because we are both going to be needing medical attention. But on the outside, I turned him down and was a total professional. But later regretted it because I remembered that in hospitality, you're allowed to accept gratuity. Even if I didn't know how big his tip was going to be, and whether or not he was a murderer, I possibly blew the best Christmas morning ever, because if he wasn't a murderer and he was willing to share, I could have had cocaine and dick for Christmas. Thank you.
I'm really, really thrilled to welcome to the stage a comic that's been on stage before. A bunch of them, and she's back. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Megan.
Don't y'all start clapping extra hard because I'm black. Don't y'all do it. What's up with y'all? We down here Canton First Friday. What's up? Shout out to my girl Lydia. Thank you for the opportunity tonight. And shout out to the comedians before me. They were some freaks, wasn't they? I mean, we got somebody up here to suck a dick, another one won't pegged. I mean, what the hell? But I said, you know what, this is an awesome fucking Friday for me. You wanna know why? I'm in a room full of white people and I ain't going to jail. And guess what? It ain't no crazy ass white baby here trying to chop me up and boil me neither, so we good. Canton. Where my Bulldog fans at? I know that's right, because it's a Bulldog mom, baby. Shout out to my 4 badass kids. Pee-wee, Marmar, Scooby, and Pork Chop. They is the wind beneath my wings, you know? It's something else. I'm having a good time. Just when I thought my career was taking off, I found myself in this crazy-ass basement telling jokes. From fucking cheese and crackers. But this basement fucking hot, ain't it? Damn. There's some cool-ass white people. Like this. I hope my caseworker ain't in here. You've been receiving food stamps and you're telling jokes and you haven't told anyone? I'm telling you, all these bright lights in my face giving me flashbacks like I'm investigation. So, you know, I'm white, y'all black, it's cool. You know, we still the same though. Like, I'm gonna give you some examples. We still the same. Y'all eat kale. I eat collard greens. They look alike, right? Y'all eat peas, salad. That's what y'all make, right? Pea salad? I just eat peas. I eat bacon. Now, I swear to God, he was funny as hell, wasn't he? I'm telling you, he was funny as fucking hell. I don't know. I love everybody. I smoked about 8 blunts on the way here, so I just got my whole set, so fuck it. I'm just happy I got a babysitter. She think I'm at the store. She got no idea I'm downtown Canton telling jokes. For cheese and crackers. In the basement. I don't know how Jeffrey Dahmer got that shit off. I don't know how he did. He ain't picked the right bitch. What's his little dance? He could get the drink. Jeffrey Dahmer dance. Then all the motherfuckers sensitive people on Facebook. This is not funny. We make everything else fucking funny, so we might as well laugh at this too. Not at the pain, because I feel the families. I feel it. You know what I mean? I I'd be mad as fuck if somebody boiled one of my family members up too and chop them up and put them in the freezer. Going to hell because of y'all. I ain't got no time to Lydia, so you're going to have to flash the light when it's my time to go. I don't even know. I got another minute left? So look, real quick. Ain't that what the men say real quick? Ain't y'all tired of these men writing checks that they ass can't cash later? Yeah, girl, when I get you home, I'm gonna fuck the shit out you. I'm gonna fuck you good. Get home, you don't feel a motherfucking thing. You like, hey, baby, is this a Zoom fuck? Cause I don't feel no way. It's a Zoom fuck. I need some penetration. Then these men, oh, I want a woman with a nice body, flat stomach, big ass. But do you have a big dick to back up that body? And guess what? She may have a nice body, but can she suck a dick? I suck dick so good it hit the back of my tonsils. Let me quit. I'm somebody's mom. Follow me on Instagram or How Funny Chick, okay? Yeah. And don't tag me in no photos tonight because I'm at the store. So look, give it up for this beautiful lady who put this all together, Miss Lydia. Come on up.
Give her another round of applause, please. The next comic that's coming up tonight, I've known for a little bit. We went to the same very weird conservative Christian school growing up, and then we grew up. And I'm thrilled to have him here today, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Nokes.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good, good. All right, got my little cheat sheet here because I suck at this. So let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, right? I'm tall. I'm not entirely sure why people feel like they need to remind me. But anytime I meet somebody new, they inevitably say, "You're tall." Like I'm going to have some reaction like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh my God, it makes so much sense. I've just been looking at people's hairlines all the time. My world is shattered. It solves everything. I don't get it. I'll be in a store. Some lady will come up after me, "Sir, can you get that through my fly shelf for me?" I don't have a problem with that. But I'm one of those people, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Two-way street, right? I can't go up to somebody else and say, "Hey." I'm just asking for equality, that's all. So, relationships, right? They're tough, right? They didn't really tell us that going into it, did they? So, me and my girl are somewhat different people, and that is absolutely for the best. It's where we're the same that things go a little awry. Anybody have that friend that if you tell them to do something ahead of time, they go, "No shit, Sherlock." But when you don't do it and then they fuck it up, they're like, "Why didn't you tell me to do that?" Work with that person. So that makes planning anything at all a real treat. Nothing gets done. We both blame each other for it. And it just goes south from there. I work in the middle of nowhere. Cell phone reception is not that great. I get a call from my mother in the middle of my workday, which I think, oh, it's a little strange. I pick it up, expecting it to be garbled. The only thing I can tell is that she's in a very worried, frantic tone, and the only word out of what she led out with that I understood very clearly was died. I know, cliffhanger, right? So I drive to I'm in a valley. I have to drive to the top of the hill where I know I can get service. The whole time I'm in my head like, oh my God, because my parents are getting on in age, right? It would not be completely ridiculous if somebody in my family were to die. So I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, it's my dad, oh my God, it's my uncle, and I'm running through all these scenarios. So I finally get to the top of the hill, I call her back, and I'm like, whoa, what happened, what happened? She's like, did you hear the Queen died? That's a sad story. I'm not sure it's called me in the middle of my workday in a frantic tone. Let's see. So, check my little cheat sheet here. All right, so the advent of technology over the last 50 years has been just mind-blowing. They say that you have more technology in your smartphone than the collective technology used to launch the first rocket into space. We have robots that can mimic human emotions. We have drones that can pick out a beetle walking around in the desert and blow it up. And I'm all for being environmentally conscious. These fucking paper straws, man. All the technology that we have, you're telling me this is the best we can do? So, God forbid you actually use the fucking thing to stir your drink. Then it's pointless. It's more useless than a flaccid dick. It's just, man, if you actually try to use it as a straw, it just immediately implodes. So I figure, okay, we need to figure out how to get this paper straw scenario on the desk of somebody as it being a counter-terrorist measure. I will fix that shit like that. If we could figure out somehow that paper straw is somehow linked to killing brown people, they would figure that out. Because we are real good at that. On that note, that's my time. Thanks, Lydia. Thanks, Les. Thanks for checking us out. Have a good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Nokes.
I'm gonna welcome up the absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Is she here?
Amanda Elam, everybody!
Thank you. I am here. Let me lay down some ground rules though while we're here. Don't look at my camel toe. It feels threatened like a dog with direct eye contact, so don't do that. Alright, yeah, so I'm really drunk, sorry. That's the thing about going really late in the set. Okay, so, little bit about me. I hate for this to be like the first and a half thing for me to say, but I'm vegan. I know. Everyone likes to make fun of us. It's fine. I'm probably a bad one anyway, because I still swallow honey. I still swallow honey, and that's like one of those things that's like really on the fence. Like, is it an animal product? So for those of you who don't know me or can't see me, I'm really bad with men. So growing up, my brother had this friend who would stay the night at our place all the time, and I would wake up to this kid standing in my room in the middle of the night, and I would always think like, man, that is so
romantic. That is so fucking cute. I love it. And we dated briefly, but he broke up with me because even someone like that is like, you know what? You're too crazy. Yeah. Okay, so I actually read this thing the other day that men were subconsciously attracted to red nails because it reminded them of their mothers. And I just thought, like, gross. So it took me a while to decide between like candy apple red or fire stripe, but I ultimately went with like a Cabernet. Okay. Yeah, dating has not been going well, not at all. But I do love that part during the casual sex where the guy will say the thing where he's like, "Oh my God, you have a great body," and I'll be like, "Okay, I see what we're doing here." You're really big. Love it. That is not going well. So I'm a mother. I know you can tell from my like extreme motherly vibes. My son's actually trans. He hasn't shot up a school yet. Sorry to whoever to those shows earlier. I'll get him a gun someday. Yeah, so he's trans. He was born female, lives as a male. But how I know he's a true male is his ability to just like fuck up tasks, because that's such a male thing to do. You're just like, I'll do. She's not gonna ask me to do this shit again if I fuck it up this time. Yeah, and like he's not. He's doing it on purpose, but whatever. And you, like, as a mother, like, you can't call your kids stupid to their fucking face. But I'm not. I do, but I'm not on stage. I don't. So I treat him like a Pokemon, and sometimes I'll just be like, Ember used disappoint. It was super effective. Yeah. So work's not going well either. My boss is crazy. My boss is like really into conspiracy theories. Is anyone else know someone like that? Are you like that? If you're like that, I'll kick you. No. No, my boss will just like say, like, I heard the word or the phrase 5G like 16 times the other day, and like chemtrails, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, no, the other, like, she all the time is just like, COVID isn't real. Biden's a clown. Bill Gates was hung in 2013. And I'm like, is he still? Because I heard he's single too. Alright, thanks, that's my time. Give it up for Lydia!
Everybody give it up for a minute, Elam.